I am back again. So, hi everyone, welcome to second episode of Vox-Logs, the Emperor's Canals. Oh wait, I opened the other browser to check something. I forgot to close it. So, Vox-Logs, and the first episode was pretty damn interesting. The top 20 Primarchs, which you guys did express the desire for me to make my own top 20, which I love to do, but I want to, so to speak, be like a specialist of each Primarch first, which I am not yet. I'm super familiar with like 50% of them, like in detail, but the rest are a bit fuzzy around the edges, so I still need to perfectly learn about each and every one of them, their characteristics. Sorry, some words in English sometimes just do not translate well, and do not have a very good relationship with my tongue. So you know what I mean. I just want to learn about their powers, their strengths, weaknesses, all of those things, to really, measure which ones I like so I can make a freaking top 20. And we all know that number 19 and number 20 gonna be officially out immediately of the top 20, but still it's gonna be called top 20 in the same way that this lovely custody did it himself. So, Sega. I don't know why I'm talking Bulgarian now. The word now in Bulgarian just slips out of my tongue these days for some reason. I don't know why. But welcome to my lovely Primarchs in the chat. James, Clayton, of course, Enevartus, Warhound, Class Titan, Legio in Vortas. I just love to say that, although it's so long. Irko's here. Hi, Irko, and dear Ivy. Oh boy. So, without further ado, guys, because it's very late. And actually, not only that it's very late, but it turns out a lot of stuff kind of came out. I'm already sleepy. While I was doing the podcast. So, I want to cover them as well, but I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be midnight. Anyway, let's see this, and then after it, I'm gonna see if I can cover a trailer or two that came out and all of those things. So, let's see what this is about. Oh boy.
Greetings, Shield Companies.
Oi.
I was about to perform one of the 1111 tasks when I recalled the many a request I have received from you.
I wanted to say
insisting on please uncovering some work experience to the greater custodian masses. Reveal what it is like to be a caretaker to you, my aspiring kin. So I thought I would take you on a quick routine pilgrimage through the extolled canals of our Emperor's Undesired. An especially enviable part of my most privileged of duties.
Oh, so privileged.
With me, I have Sister Tasha, Sister Noloqui, and Sister Sana Detestatus, Oblivion Knights of the Sisters of Silence. Say hello. I jab at your oath, you jab at us. Fair. The reason, dearest listener, for why I am bringing these Oblivion Knights with my finely lubricated personage may or may not become apparent depending on how fortunate we are in the depths. But,
James,
suffice to say, the Silent Sisterhood are integral to this operation. Each is an old, wrinkled, blemished wizened, genuinely unsettling to look upon, yet also markedly experienced hand at this game by now.
Sir, thank you for your service, you terrifying crones.
okay.
Oh, yes, sign language. Sister Church says, shut your very small face. Let us crawl down the sewer now, please. Okay, listen here, I am quite conscious of my small head, so stay my hand, or you will remain in the sewer, lady. Operators, unlatch the manhole.
What is happening here?
There is only one true entrance to the canals, and it is this one. Our master's monumental manhole. It is kept close at all times, bolted shut by ancient seals of titan size, liquid automite locking mechanisms, and hexagramic wards, keeping the hole unsullied by those fools who would wish to penetrate its depths, forever secured from within and without. Except
Sure.
during routine examination.
Oh, what the heck happened?
Indeed. The glorious miasma is enough to have tech priests rediscover their utterly biological gag reflex. Let us plunge. Ready the gutter hawk!
What the heck is in there? I'm not sure I want.
So, yes, the canals are quite far into the ground, so we take this, our flyer baptized the Gutter Hawk. One born to carry us to and fro the depths of This machine needs no pilot. A pilot would perish in the depths, but fortunately the machine's spirit knows its purpose and always perfectly succeeds in taking its
What is happening? What are we watching? Like this time I'm truly confused.
Yes. Indeed, the Gutter Hawk is also whatever the machine spirit equivalent of an adrenaline junkie is! My loincloth has turned to ash once more, you aren't a meteorite, you're a flying fucking box! Start acting like it, please! Oh.
Wow. The
Certainly was
problems
the
of
one
the
good
Imperium,
thing
I
none of
guess.
us carried the boilerplate curse that is armor. So if we had, we would have turned to soup. This is but another impetus for my cause. Reconsidered your cleanliness today. Nevertheless, we are now in the extolled canals of the Emperor's Undesired. Welcome, welcome. We are currently in the Canal Primus, but today we are
Canal
heading
Primers.
into Canal
Primers.
Secundus for its routine.
Canal Secundus.
As we have cleansed Primus, Terratus, Quatus, Quintus, Sextus, and most of the sewer wombs in the last few weeks.
The heck is Sextus?
Now, Secundus regularly damns my existence with its existence. It's been clogged time and time again, and there's just...
Okay.
Right. Perimeter scan. What do we believe that was? The Undesired?
A rat.
Flipping into each other? Please, I dearly hope that's the case. Nevertheless, so the canals are of course not to be confused with the multitudes of other sewers within and without the Imperial Palace. This one is the Emperor's personal conduit. Now, if you happen to be utterly ignorant, you might question this. The Emperor's a stasis-bound body. Why would he need a sewer? And
Well.
wondering this would betray such utter ignorance as to the
He
true
might not
nature of
need
our
it, but
Emperor's
you.
law. This the year of our Lord 999 Millennium 41, that it cannot be answered with anything but utter condescension and outright dismissal. What? It's Millennium 42 now.
Yes, the millenniums, they are like years, like 1 year past. Who cares? 1000, the same.
Well, it's certainly not my fault the calendar is utterly useless. Honestly, they should invent a new calendar. Make the pinups a core feature rather than quote-unquote a vain accessory. Only things fall about the administrator are the clots of their limbic system. They don't know shit.
Oh jeez, no such words. I guess he has had it. So
And here we are then. Massive clog in the Canal Secundus.
Canal Secundus again.
Commencing cleanse. When you come across a clog in a tunnel for a canal, one has to rinse the excess so the discharge can flow naturally down into the Promethean steam pit located beneath canal primers. So
Canal
how one
primers
does
is
this is
unbelievable.
by using this. There you go. All hail Grand Uncle. Now, here we go.
I guess.
We.
In the Imperium, we just blow it up.
That's it. That's all of it. Hey, look, wait.
Hey, would you care to kiss Grand Uncle?
No, do not punch Grand Uncle. It is a very non-malfunctioning man. Please, it was but a hysterical prank what I have pulled. Let us continue forward.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna continue forward. He's gonna blow up something again for better cleansing.
You might be curious. What is this effluvium we walk in, more specifically? Well, I cannot say with full accuracy, but in broad strokes, it is bewildering ooze that leaks from the Emperor's wide intramurals, detritus from the many machines that keep our Emperor's vitality, unspeakable necrotic sludge and graves of psychic residue, all coming together, flowing like water, blood, syrup, muck, creating this gangrenous stew I have to step foot in all too often.
That sounds
To
horrible.
using these canals.
Beauty, he said. Beauty. I can't even. I'm just watching this picture and my imagination does the rest.
Relief. It seems a clan has settled here. One of these scum must have been responsible for that blaring screech. So, dear listeners, yes, there is indeed life, if you would call it that, drawing breath in the Emperor's Undesired. And indeed, this is just why we call them the Undesired.
Oh wow.
Years and years worth of forgotten pilgrims that have somehow ended up in these canals by means we have not quite yet figured out. Like meal beetles, they appear from nowhere, infesting these canals. Harmless, but just revolting.
Oh jeez.
Their subsistence is an immediate result of their surroundings, as they live off of our Emperor's effluvium, being their one and only source of sustenance down here. As far as we've seen, these creatures are now dependent on the consumption of this sediment. They cannot live without it. And,
Oh, I didn't
oh
need to
yes,
know that.
you might be utterly offended by this notion. And so am I. But our last caretaker, one little kitten, allowed these creatures to live in these canals, deeming them peaceful and quite useful.
Well, if
Their
they're clean up,
sludge sucking
good
providing
place.
a minor but ultimately beneficial edge in this line of work.
I mean, Kitten is a smart guy.
I, however, remain unfazed by this reasoning, for they gross me out, and I wish them cold. We'll be working something out in the near future. Look forward to that stream. Now, never. What is it? Astute observation. They are frightened. Well, perhaps they came to their senses and realized they live in a sewer. Yes, of course we shall investigate. We have a lot of ground left to cover anyhow. Let us move.
What they will investigate.
So hey,
creatures are friendly.
since we're live and most listeners haven't
heard from you silent sisters in a while.
How is your vigil doing?
But
Sister Sana de Status demands to be taken seriously.
okay.
Yeah, I agree. Without the vigil of penitent plumbing, the palace would be overflowing with skeleton sewage. Do you wish to see your newly polished war gear forever molded by a tidal wave of sighted wastewater? No? Then cease your derision, emissaries, lest granduncle might come and void its contents in your priggish little armory. Oh.
Oh, now what's
Not
this?
nice.
Okay. Alright. Nice.
It's corpses.
Allow me to slightly rectify my previous statement regarding the Undesired. They are quite useful in one regard, and it is for leaving corpses behind. For this lets us know that something has killed them.
No.
Scanning area. So, looks like 16 dead, organs ejected from their bodies, consistent between all of them, with no other signs of physical trauma.
Oh.
Okay, right. Good actually, yes. Fungal infection. More than likely growing out of that duct the corpses are all conveniently surrounding. Now, dear listeners, another life form subsisting down here is fungus. And no, before you ask, not orcs.
Fungus among us?
As far as we know. We always do try to keep any potentially dangerous organisms from growing and proliferating, but this place cultivates new strains of deadly mildew like none other. If but a single spore of this vile rot was to make its way out of these canals proper, it could spell the end for generations worth of Terra's civilian population. Which,
jeez.
well, the Emperor himself has insisted he'd prefer prevented.
Sure.
So, in order to prevent this, I will have to purge the decay. Now, you might think, oh, a flamer would be handy here, but no!
Yeah, actually, exactly what I was
Flamers are
thinking.
not allowed. Last time one was used down here, exactly everything caught fire. A massive blazing sewer inferno boiled the canals for months, and the temperature of the throne room rose slightly, which is extremely bad. The
Oh, yes.
temperature of the throne room must be kept stable at all times. Unless the Emperor himself wants time, but that only happens in highly controlled circumstances.
Oh, complicated.
Nevertheless, by
Maybe
now I'm
acid?
just rambling and putting this off. All of you, please seal the bodies and have them thrown in the pit. I'll rinse the dirt out.
Well, I did suggest an acid or a plasma gun or something that
This
will
duct
vaporize them
is-
without getting the heat up
an
somehow.
extremely tight one. And
Bye, James.
usually the
Agreed.
fungi wellspring is nestled deep within. So I will simply have to crawl in.
Oh, and he's there. And look at so many weapons there. Just vaporized. Everything's so advanced and yet so not advanced.
Of our ranks might have forgotten. The custodian body is a malleable thing. Thus, by fracturing some bones and severing some fiber, we are able to compress our bodies and travel wherever we must.
Really? Never heard
And
that
now
about
the
custodian.
crawling begins.
But they're big and muscular and
Sorry if
squishy.
this sounded a little bit intense. Sliding into tight crevices is something I only recommend performing with ample.
Isn't there like servitor for these things?
The risk of becoming trapped within these pipes is a constant risk. To be quite honest, being embedded deep in the Emperor's canal is a double entendre even I do not stomach for.
I'm sure. I mean, who does?
Well, here we are. Seems I have found a plantation's worth of mold. A mycelium museum growing a foul rainbow of toadstool breeds. Who's to say this isn't but a fragment of Chaos Undivided's malign influence, congregating, scheming, spreading, all vile forms embodied by mushrooms in a toilet pipe. A better representation of the ruinous powers none could ever hope to find. And now I have come, the mighty imperium, to blow it away. And speaking of, you might be wondering how I am to rid the pipe of this decay.
Yes.
I cannot carry any form of gear with me, so granduncle is of no use. But fortunately, my blessed form shall be the answer to your question.
Ah.
I'll just inhale and then blow.
Whoa. I can't do that. Almost like Superman.
Sorry about the Vox-caster picking that up, but there we are. The sheer force of the wind created by my blessed lungs is able to disintegrate these pathetic growths.
That's epic.
This, however, does not mean the threat has been neutralized. It all but floats in the air now as spores.
Awesome.
So, next step is simply to inhale. And here we go. And there we go.
That's
I
horrible.
have successfully stored away
Poor
the
guy.
shroom spores. Threat neutralized. Time to slide on out of it.
Well, shouldn't you like go cleanse yourself now?
Yes, hello, Ooh. Yes, hello, the fungus has been ingested.
Oh, gee.
Another cred victory for the imperium and thousand normals' lives.
Oh,
Thank you,
poor
thank you.
custodian.
My success shall be remembered in the halls of glory for 5 minutes.
Oh, yes.
Let us move onwards. There might be more spores up ahead. Oh. Yes.
Poor guy.
Allow me to. Please, allow me to speak about the previous caretaker.
Cool
His name,
kitten.
Kittles. He
Kitos.
was quite the boy.
Quite the
I have
boy.
to say I had no respect for him for the longest time, and I know, controversial statement, he is the Captain General. I should have respect for the Captain General.
Yes.
But I did not. We did not in my shield company. As you might remember, we were quite infamous for not voting for him at all. None of us. Instead, we elected to have our giant X-Men, Trajan Valoris, elected, but I don't know, he was considered too war mastery or something. I didn't really get this. Hey, if you're listening, Trajan, I still think you're cool. You're still my boy, but anyway.
My boy.
Kit Kat has been Captain General for
Kit Kat.
years now, but before he was elected, he was already the caretaker. I never really thought it made sense that he would have both of those titles. It was just totally unfair and unnecessary, but
Oh, you're just
you know what?
butthurt.
You know what? I think I understand better now. I have been on caretaker duty for a while now, and it has taxed me to my core. It is possibly the most demanding job one can have as a custodian.
No, kitten.
Yet Kitten
Kitten.
has done it for thousands of years. Thousands! And throughout the years, he expanded his workload not only take care of the Emperor's person, but to take care of the forces that protect the Emperor. He deemed it equally as important, claiming we were like the Emperor's immune system.
Gets a
That
point there.
we must be tended to much the same as the rest of the Emperor's bodywork. The gargantuan workloads that involve both taking care of the Emperor and the custodians. Yes, I can comprehend it now.
You're finally. Only
And
took
with
you a while.
comprehension comes respect. And yeah, Trajan, as I said, you're still great. And you could probably beat the absolute furballs out of Kitten with your humongous fists, but
That does
honestly,
not take care of the Emperor, though.
so could probably most of us. But I don't think any one of us could tailor-bake nutritious yet delicious pizza pies for 10,000 custodians every single day. He's got all of us beat there.
Oh, yeah. You finally
And-
realized what Kitten has
Fuck, am I craving one of those pies right about now? I am incredibly thankful he left a cryovault full of them already and available to eat up before he left from Mars. Oh, please.
done. Oh, boy. I doubt they know what pizza is, but okay. Otherwise, how would they have these bodies?
The Undesired never had these to be. Advance. Double time.
What's happening here? Although I don't see anything else but this picture, I totally imagine where they are, what they're doing. Just by focusing on it, I mean, somehow feels like I'm watching something. Oh boy.
It escaped. It could not approach as it wished. The sisters obstructed it. That thing is primarily why these sisters are here with me. The vilest products of these canals. No doubt the most perilous. Life forms born of our Emperor's residuals. Creatures of absolute obscenity.
What?
Bastards of the sludge. We must find it.
That exists
coming.
too?
Move.
Okay, that is rather disturbing if you think about it. Such thing exists. Damn.
There. It's in that duct.
approaching duct. Tighter than the last one. I shall stretch my arm in, see if I can grab it. Be ready to execute it as soon as I pull it out.
Oh boy.
Right.
I wish we can
Stretching
see
my
that.
hand inside. 3, 2, 1.
No, oh no.
I'm like,
This
but otherwise,
This
yes, nothing.
was the worst possible scenario. I am now in the pipe. She could not tell. It pulled me in.
I'm now in the
I have
pipe.
to listen to it. This pipe is extremely tight. And I do not know how deep it goes. And it boiled my skin with its horrible powers.
Yes, of course.
That does not help the lubrication situation.
Oi.
We cannot know how long it'll hide in here. And the longer it is allowed to live, the further it will develop its psychic potential. I have to crawl it further in.
Jesus, so it's not only a creature, but it has psychic potential. Horrible. I mean, it's getting dangerous by the minute. More dangerous as it lives, as he said.
Intersection.
That's not good. No.
My abs convulse in distress.
Oh yeah, give it.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Which direction did he call this? Listen. I cannot hear him. But, oh wait. There are some vague trails into one of the pipes here. Okay, that's all I have to go on. Advancing.
Imagine how he's dancing, crawling in a very tight pipe with his muscles like something like that.
It's a dead end.
It's dead end.
It's a dead end. I must crawl back. I must crawl back.
Where the heck the creature went there? It disappeared with his psychic abilities?
I'm stuck.
Sure.
My body oil has dried.
Where is Rogol? Don't worry. Him. What the hell?
It's behind me. It's behind me.
What the heck?
It is biting my toes.
Oh no! Oh no! This is so disturbing.
My
Oh
feet.
my gosh.
Got it out! Never you underestimate my lungs, cur! Kill it now!
Oh my god.
no, 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 not now! Not now! No!
What the heck's happening?
Discharge incoming!
My goodness. It's like I'm there.
Report! Is everyone alive? Sister Tachi, yes. Sister Sana the Testatus, yes. Sister Non-Maquid, yes. Oh,
Did it do what?
I'm sorry about the top. Now that's a lot of God. Now where is the bastard? Where is the bastard?
Yeah.
It's gone.
What do you mean it's gone? What is it?
With any hope, it followed the stream down into the pit. But with our fortune this day, it is most likely still alive.
Of course. But what?
Well, I have an abundance of other tasks to tend to today
What's the thing
that
that
are equally, if not more, wearisome, so... we will have to leave the hunt for tomorrow. And dearest listener, that is it for this time. I hope you have been enlightened.
Oh yes, very.
Big ups to Little Kitten for doing this for the last few thousand years. And please, service announcement, do not flush wet wipes, cotton, drugs, plastic, promethium, and lice gun batteries down the sewers, you assholes.
That's good
That's
advice.
all. Thank you. Bye.
Awesome. Okay, that was once again very surprisingly entertaining, and I'm just very captivated by the fact that although I do see only one picture, I'm very enticed to read the subtitles for some reason because they so much like pull me into the story, what the heck is happening, and I actually almost can't see what is happening. I literally imagine everything as he tells it. So I don't think I ever experienced this. It's like some kind of an old radio show where, you know, the speaker has to explain what is happening, and the more he's doing that, I mean, the better he's doing that, the more you are into the action, which is really, really, truly interesting experience because I am, imagining how they're doing everything. The sound is so good, all the sound design that you're just there. I'm really shocked in the best possible, most positive way. I could never imagine this actually. So, yeah, I am blown away. I really am. They're really great, Deadly. Yes. Oh, next one's fun. The two so far have been so much fun. So if the third is amazing too, I would not be surprised. I just can't wait. Yeah, just like an old time radio show, exactly. Never heard anything like this, unless, I mean, except when I watched the Superman documentary, you know, how through the radio shows they develop further his character, and one guy voiced Superman and all those things. It was like I mean, pretty much like audiobooks these days, something like that. So it was awesome. I mean, they did an amazing job, and in these times to have such thing exist and be so entertaining, for me is mind blowing. Like the word is mind blowing. So I love it, guys. I really, really do. I can't believe how much fun I have with these. So thank you very much for recommending me all of these. So we're gonna continue both the podcast, as you told me, just gonna get better. These are just gonna get better and better. So we're continuing, and throughout this time, we're gonna, of course, anticipate episode 30 of the text to speech and everything else that could come out. Whew. Amazing. But that is it for 40k for today, for tonight. Now there is some stuff that I do want to do, although it's very late, but there's like a bit of short trailers, one or two that I could cover real quick if I manage, about other things that I just just came out. So yeah, I'm probably gonna return again in maybe like 15 minutes if I can manage to be faster. So yeah, for everybody else that are interested in my other movie and TV show content, I'm gonna come back in a bit. And to everyone else, yeah, bless you, everybody, my dear Starties. If you like to support me, guys, you can always become a member of the Imperium and use these awesome emojis in the chat, or become custodies or primarchs for great gifts and vector images and other, well, yeah, you can wish one video a month if you're a primarch, like one special video that you want me to do. And yeah, of course, my OnlyFans for meaningful sex educational content, Patreon, all of those stuff, guys. Whatever it is, I appreciate it. So good night and sleep well, and I'm gonna come back in a bit. Kisses and hugs, and this 40k night was amazing. Love you, dear Garrities, Golden Astartes. Bye for now.